Welcome along to the LCFC Training Ground for Leicester City's first pre-season game of this new season. Non-league Notts County are the visitors for this behind closed doors game. I'm Dan Bates and I'm joined by Danny Simpson. It's great to have you along as ever, Danny, with us. And obviously you're keeping busy at the moment. You've been in the media, of course, this week.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to keep fit, obviously. Been down to TalkSport, and obviously it's great to be here today to watch the lads play and obviously comment on the game.
Let's get straight into business then, of course. Obviously it is the first game of pre-season. What is that like as a professional footballer? Are you nervous at all because you've not done this for over a month or so?
I think you're quite relieved because you don't have to do that much running anymore. Like the first 2 weeks of pre-season, is always the hardest. So when you get closer to the first game, and now is the important part. This is the details. They're pretty much now. You're quite fit. Obviously, you want to get match sharp, but yeah, you're just excited to go and get stuck into a game and obviously try and impress the manager.
There's 2 minutes in terms of the teams. Obviously, you can see those on social media and on lcfc.com as well. There's a bit of a mix, isn't there? Obviously, the first team looks a little bit stronger for the first half.
Yeah, it is, but that's expected. Normally, the first half is the lads that have been in the first team or been training for the first few weeks, and then second half it's probably an opportunity for Brendan and the other coaching staff to see some of the younger lads play and see who takes a chance or maybe catches the manager's eye.
Obviously 2 weeks is not too long, is it? And some players have only been here a week, some less than a week, so yep. 45 minutes after that amount of time pre-season probably will take it out of you.
It will. You always feel that first game in your legs. And after that, you start to get stronger. You might play 60, then obviously eventually getting 75 and 90. But listen, they'll just be excited to be playing. Like I said, they've had a short break. Obviously with the World Cup being this December. But no, I'm pretty sure they'll be. From what I've heard as well, they've come back really fit. These days the lads have an off-season plan, so now they'll be fit and sharp, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play today.
And presumably by this point you are itching and you're ready to play a game when you've had 2 weeks of pretty much double sessions every single day.
Yeah, like I said, they'll be, I can see them there. They just want to get those. Like I said, you want to get your boots on, you want to get stuck into your position. I said, and make a mark. Like I said, you've done all the hard work now in the first few weeks. So obviously, as part of it is enjoying it. Obviously, showing the manager what you can do, and it's going to be a long season, and everyone's going to have to play the part.
We'll hear from Ricardo very shortly, but I've got to embarrass you a little bit. Obviously, when you were coming through, there was conversations with pretty much everyone here. You're still obviously loved by everybody here, and you love them too.
Yeah, listen, it's for me though when I come back here and I see the lads. This club's it's special to me, and every time I come here, even though I wasn't actually at this training ground, Leicester's still home. So yeah, to see the lads, John Rudkin and Beegs and Mark Brighton and everyone. So yeah, it's great to be back and seeing them, and yeah, hopefully you'll see me more of me.
And obviously people will have seen the clip of you, as you said, in the media this week, speaking glowingly, of course, about this club. Listen,
yeah, I can't speak any more highly of the club and what the club did for me in my time here, and still do. It's very special to me, and like I said, it's only fair that I tell people how special it is.
Right, let's say from a former Leicester City right-back then into a current Leicester City right-back. Ricardo Pereira has been chatting about this first game against Notts County earlier. Ricky, obviously 2 long weeks of pre-season now are culminating in this first pre-season game. How are you feeling ahead of it?
Good. It's good to start to work as we have been doing, but it's also good to compete and have a different challenge, and it will be good to test what we train these first 2 weeks.
The weather's come along with it as well, possibly one of the hottest days that you've had to contend with.
Yeah, that helps for one side. For the other, it's tougher, but at least we can enjoy a little bit of the sun.
And the game itself, what are you expecting from it in intensity and minutes-wise? I assume no one will be playing the full 90.
No, I think we'll be 45 each. It's the first taste of the a real game, and we'll try to, like I said, to do the things we are doing in pre-season and get back to on track and start well, for sure.
Brilliant, Ricky. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Ricardo, they're very much saying what you've been saying, Danny, that it's been a bit of a build-up in these last couple of weeks into today. 45 minutes it'll be. Get that fitness under your belt. That's what today is about.
It is. Like I said, it's, you know, they said they've all put in the double sessions. You know, they're tough. I spoke to some of the lads. You know, I spoke to them the other day. I think they got one of the afternoons off, and they were absolutely delighted. But I spoke to the manager, and it's because of how hard they've worked. You know, they did 15, 16k in one day. So no, Ricardo's right. It's about now. It's the minutes on the grass, and like I said, I'm pretty sure, you know, he'll be one that's really, really looking forward to it, because, you know, over the years he's had a few injuries, so I'm pretty sure he's one that's looking forward to a good pre-season for the season.
And as you've rightly said yourself, obviously pre-season is a little bit earlier because of the World Cup. Last season was incredibly busy for Leicester City. They played so many games, so I guess the fitness levels were never going to drop really, like maybe in the 20 or 30 years ago where they don't do anything over the summer.
No, listen, it's even 15 years ago when I was coming back for pre-season, we didn't do that much, to be honest, whereas now, you know, the off-season plans and the way the lads keep themselves in shape, yes, they go off on holiday and have a couple of weeks break, but, you know, they keep themselves in top shape, and they come back now and pretty, you know, fitter than what we used to come back. So no, listen, you'll see them today. I'm pretty sure we'll see probably the levels that they are. No disrespect to Notts County, but I think we'll see the levels straight away of how fit the lads are.
There are still plenty more lads as well to come back in the next few weeks, of course, over the course of pre-season. What are your thoughts generally ahead of the new season? What can Leicester achieve this year?
This Leicester can achieve whatever they want. I think they've proved that over the last 5 or 6 years. But listen, I think last year was tough. You know, we had a lot of injuries, and to deal with that many injuries and still have a decent season is credit to the players and the staff. So I think now, you know, if you can keep the lads fit, you know, you want to be pushing top 4 or getting Europe, you know, get back into Europe. I think last season it looked like get to the final European final for the first time would have been amazing. But I don't see why these boys can't go and finish top 6, top 4 and push for that again, because you keep them fit. They're a top team.
And yes, there is obviously naturally the disappointment that there isn't European football this year, but on the other hand, that can be a positive, can't it? It means that domestic form can almost be concentrated on. Yes. Whereas last year, obviously, they've got to manage.
Yeah, listen, I think you're right there, because when we won the league, we was just playing Saturday, and it makes such a big difference. You know, compared to the other teams, they've got a midweek game, you've got more time to plan. You know, Brendan will have a lot more time to plan. Lads will get a lot more rest. So you'll get, you know, maximum performance on a Saturday, and, you know, that played a part in us winning the league. So yeah, I think you're right there. It's probably a good opportunity this season, playing Saturday to, you know, be ahead of the other teams. I think, yeah.
Back again into the team today and the match today. Is there much tactical work that goes into these very early games, or is it a simple go out there, play your football that you know you play, and just try and get some fitness again?
No, not with the gaffer. He'll be expecting to see there's a lot of tactical work that he's probably been drummed into them for the last few years. I don't think much will change. You'll want the lads to, you know, the speed of the pass, you know, punch it into people, fire it in, don't be slow. He'll be telling them that from minute 1 today. Yes, it's about fitness, but it's also, you know, keeping his, you know, his ideas and his thoughts on how he wants the game to be played. He'll want it from minute 1.
You obviously had, 3 or 4 months under Brendan Rodgers, didn't you? And one thing we've got the privilege of seeing when we're down for training is that he is exactly what you said. The speed of pass has got to be there. The intensity's got to be there. Is that something that obviously working under him is a massive thing?
Yes, and I had 4 months with him, and I wish I had longer, because I think I would have been an even better player, to be honest. Yeah, even just knowing passing drills, you know, concentrate, like you said, fire it in, don't be lazy, pass it onto the right side. And just them little details, and he's massive on them little details, because it benefits the team, benefits the player, improves the player. Yeah, I wish I had longer with him, because I definitely would have improved as a player. Yeah.
And not just wishing you had longer than him, you're wishing you were putting your boots on today.
Yeah, listen, I run out there. I might ask if I can be a sub. No, listen, I'd love to, you know, look at that. It's a beautiful day for it, and yeah, I miss these days.
It's a good point actually about the weather. I suppose that adds an extra element, doesn't it? Being this hot, it almost is like you're in Europe on a pre-season camp.
Yeah, it is. I said, you know, we're not really used to that much, are we? But it is pre-season. It's always hot for pre-season, and I said that will also help the lads in terms of the fitness and going forward.
And the result, does it matter today? We've talked about the intensity obviously needing to be there. Tactics, you say, under Brendan Rodgers will definitely be there. But you always want to win a game. You want to start the season, I guess, in the right frame of mind.
Listen, the result matters. I don't care what anybody says. If it's a pre-season,
it doesn't if they lose at full.
No, listen, it's a pre-season friendly. Yes, everyone will say it's about minutes, but you know, you're at home. It's your training ground against a lower league team. You want to win, and you want to be winning from minute one. And I think Brendan's put that into the group as well about winning, and it becomes a habit. So you start now.
And that is what we've seen in the last couple of years under Brendan Rodgers. When they go on winning runs, they tend to keep them. We're about to be hit, I think, by the sprinklers. Good job of going off very shortly. But yeah, starting the season with a win, albeit in pre-season, as you said, it just breeds that winning mentality. It
is, and he's massive into that. I think he's drummed that into the lads. And if he's not, not pre-season, it's in training as well. That's what improves as a player. You want everyone at it, 100%, pushing each other. And that's why Leicester have been successful over the years.
Well, thank you very much, Danny Simpson. We'll hear from you again at full time. But it's time now to hand over to the commentary team of Chris Parrott and Matty Fryatt to take you through Leicester City's first pre-season game of the summer.
Yes, thank you, Dan. The opening test of pre-season is here for Leicester City. The training ground looks absolutely sparkling on a glorious summer's afternoon. And with just over 4 weeks to go until the new campaign gets underway, Notts County from the National League are today's opponents. The first of 6 matches before the big kick-off on the 7th of August. An important step in the preparation for that here today. Can you hear me on here now or not? Notts County, this is their second match of pre-season. They had a game against a local team in Nottingham earlier this week, which they won comfortably. They'll be captained by Kyle Cameron this afternoon. Matty Fryatt alongside myself, Chris Parrott, and so we can see now the Leicester team beginning to walk out. We heard from Danny Simpson there. It's a lovely day weather-wise and important minutes in the legs today ahead of the big kick-off in just under a month's time.
Yeah, it's a perfect pre-season game. The weather's that you'd expect, nice and warm. Always the case in pre-season. Pitch is looking absolutely perfect. Sprinklers have just been on. And looking through the team, it's a good mix, good blend. Players will be wanting to impress, a few fringe players, a few younger players. Great opportunity, and going into it with a bit of excitement and also anticipation, because as much as you do training, it's always good to get that first game under your belt, and it's ideal for especially the younger players who have been out on loan to go and show what they can do to the manager.
Well, there is one of the Leicester City starting 11 today. Patson Daka is going to lead the line. We can have a quick look at the Leicester side now. They will field different 11s in both halves today, so everybody involved should get 45 minutes. This the side for the first half, captained by Ricardo. The first team squad arrived back at different times, so not everyone is involved yet. Daniel Everson starts in goal for Leicester. There's a place for youngsters, Thomas Wilson-Brown, Shane Flynn and Callum Wright. Apart from that, a pretty experienced 11. Patson Daka up front in a 4-3-3 setup, and all of those on the bench there will come on at half-time. Well, this is the Notts County 11, their second pre-season game, having hit 5 in midweek at Basford. They'll also give everybody minutes. Ruben Rodriguez was their top scorer last season as they lost in the National League playoffs. He also scored in that friendly a couple of days ago. Kyle Cameron on the score sheet too, and he captains them in the first half. Final checks for the referee. And after 2 weeks of running on the training grounds, now pre-season really begins. Leicester's pre-season is underway. 29 days until the Foxes' latest Premier League campaign begins. The build-up starts here against Notts County in the summer sunshine at Seagrave. And immediately Ricardo has won that ball. And here is Daka. And it was almost a blistering start.
Promising signs straight away. The press was on. Daka's pressed it, spacing behind, cross into the box. It may have just come up off the defender's hand, maybe questionable of handball, one of them, touch and go sort of things, but promising start. Early press, here it is.
Well, we are, 30 seconds into pre-season, and Matty Fry already wants Leicester to have a penalty kick. Never lose that striking instinct inside the penalty area.
It'll be an ideal opportunity for people like Daka to get himself underway. He'll be after goals, wanting to impress. Obviously, competition for places, certainly in the forward departments, but he'll be wanting goals today against a lower opposition. So you always want to get off to a good start, particularly as a forward.
Crunching challenge there from Hamza Chowdhury, pre-season friendly or not. And you can tell, though, that word intensity has been used by lots of players already we've heard from. And you could see it there from Hamza Chowdhury. This is a match he wants to get involved in quickly.
Yeah, he wants to put his mark onto proceedings, say what he's about. Probably didn't play as much as he did last year. And wants to obviously make an important contribution this year and show what he can do early doors. And he's already sort of said, there you go, tackle in.
Here's another man who likes a challenge, Wesley Fofana. One of those who had international football at the end of last season, if you like, only a month or so ago, but back here and already back in Leicester City colours. And Shane Flynn, Republic of Ireland under-21 international, pits out Thomas Wilson-Brown, and what an occasion for him to play alongside somebody like Wesley Fofana. He'll learn a lot from this 45 minutes.
Definitely, it's how the young players integrate with the first team members. They want to also show what they can do and not be intimidated by playing along people like Wesley Fofana. But you've got to show what you're about, bring confidence to it, and show that you can do a job not only just alongside Wesley Fofana, but you've also got to consider the opposition and their experienced pros as well.
As Buba Sumare protects the ball well there. County haven't had a touch in earnest yet, and we're about 3 minutes into this first pre-season test. Leicester have been on it since second one. Here is young Wilson-Brown, who was with the under-18s last season, not even in the development squad age group. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall drives forward, and he caught that cross, and that will be a Notts County throw at the end of the move.
That's what Ori was about last year, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. He's broken into that left channel, bursting with this energy, gets into a good position, then just slightly overhits the cross, but it's that work rate and that energy, that's what you want to see, and that's what he's provided there. Just slightly overhit, unfortunately, on that occasion.
I love the quote from Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall about how he intends on the 7th of August to step out onto the pitch at King Power Stadium and be a step up from even last season, which, if that is the case, Leicester City fans are going to have something to watch and admire in the coming months. It's Fofana to Wilson-Brown again, and now Flynn. It's a really good ball, and Daka's movement was good. And Patson Daka just runs out of space. Decent piece of defending.
It's a great ball slid down the side and a great run by Patson Daka. He's just timed it perfectly. He's got that space where if he times it right like he did, then it's just attacking the centre back. I think if he's got that initial touch, it looks like here he's just knocked it past the defender one more touch there, and it could be question marks about penalty if he really drove in.
11 goals in that debut season, including that extraordinary night in Europe against Spartak. It was a big old challenge on Wesley Fofana, and given what happened a year ago, it was a shuddering tackle. He's back to his feet, fortunately, Leicester's young French star.
That's always the problem with pre-season games. You don't want to pick up any injuries, and obviously someone who picked up an injury last year, you don't want anything going on with a player like Wesley Fofana.
That's very nice from Bouba Soumari. His first full pre-season as a Leicester player. Now Fofana again. Here's Ricardo. And shepherded out of play by Conor Wallinson, but I'm struggling to remember Notts County getting into Leicester's half in this opening 5.5 minutes.
It's been a super start by Leicester on the front foot, trying to play balls down the side, energy from midfield, forward runs, and Notts County is struggling in the minute, not only with the heat, but also the way that Leicester approached the opening 5 minutes.
Lost in the playoffs in heartbreaking fashion to Grimsby on the 23rd of May. Plenty of changes at Meadow Lane, new head coach, plenty of departures and arrivals. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall does that so well. By Rami back into Ed Francis, and this may be Notts County's best spell of possession. That's a decent looking ball as well. The man, very well-timed challenge from Shane Flynn at the expense of a corner.
That was a promising tap by Notts County there. Ball over the top, in behind Flynn. Slightly done by that ball into the space, but he's recovered really well and did enough to divert danger away for a corner. I thought initially he was going to get done on the outside, but just did enough to cover across.
First corner for Leicester City to defend in this pre-season. Ed Francis is going to be the Notts County player who will swing this in. The captain, Carl Cameron, one of those who he's aiming for. And it's beaten almost everybody apart from Ricardo. Might still be a chance on the edge of the box for O'Brien. And in the end, that'll be a goal kick, but that was the first real test at the back for Leicester.
It was unconvincing, to say the least. Same problems of what happened last season from set plays. No one really attacked the ball, and if Notts County get a boot on that, it could end up in the back of the net. So they want to tidy things up and get right even in pre-season at early stages.
Here is Shane Flynn, and Harvey Barnes is on the move immediately. Barnes has kept it in play. Nice little bit of interchange. Very nice piece of skill as well from Ruben Rodriguez. Hamza Chowdhury. So a year ago, Harvey Barnes was still coming back from that really serious injury. He will have let's hope anyway, a full pre-season ahead of the new campaign in 2022. Fofana. Ricardo.
Movement and rotation midfield's very good at the minute. People assessing the space and moving between it, and it's causing Notts County problems. I would have liked to see Harvey Barnes really drive in at the centre-back there and tested him. Instead, he chose probably the wrong decision there and coming out the other way, and the play sort of came to nothing. When you think Harvey's on full flight, I know it's the first game and everything of a pre-season, but you think drive across your man, make him commit to a challenge.
Brendan Rodgers watching on. You see as Leicester attack over on the far side is the team for the second half, the new pink training tops. Dewsbury Hall pre-season or not, closing down and ensuring there was no way out or no easy way out for Notts County.
Again, it's the right idea. Shane Flynn, he's put some well-measured passes down the line early into this game, and it's that midfield run again. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall doing as what he does, getting into that space. Slightly overhit on this occasion, but it's good pressure, right areas, and building up play well.
Sam Slocum with the goal kick. Some of the first team squad who aren't involved today are watching on. Over there on the far side, I can see Johnny Evans is over there, Aosi Perez as well. Notts County have just made their way into this contest in the last couple of minutes. It's a good competitive workout, that's for sure. Wilson Brown. Kid to Daniel Everson. Of course, was at Preston last season. No way out there for Fofana. And here is Rodriguez. And he tried the cute pass, and it didn't quite come off, but it's a promising opening there for Notts County.
Yeah, it was sloppy by Wesley Fofana there, playing the ball inside. You're going to make mistakes, obviously, in pre-season, but it was a bit sloppy and could have been capitalised on by Notts County.
There is Fofana again. That trademark stride forward. Sumare. I think the pass was meant for Flynn. It hit Chowdhury, and Notts County are just beginning to show what they're about. And Amon, it's a decent looking ball. Cairo Mitchell is offside.
Caused problems the last attack there. They found that little bit of pocket. Wilson Brown and Fofana slightly dropped off, and they've managed to get on the half turn, and then if they just time it right, they could be in behind. But that's just something to be aware of. Maybe Hamza Chowdhury just picking up back of 7 in Mitchell. He's getting turned and looking to go at the back line.
It's a very good looking ball. Callum Wright almost kept that in play. It rolls through to some of the development squad who are going to be playing in this second half, along with Kelechi Iheanacho, who's going to captain the team in the second period.
Yeah, that'll be a great experience for the young players. Good blend, obviously, mentioned there, Iheanacho playing, but that'll be a great experience for them, and they've got a little insight into it early doors and can pick up a few things of what's going on in this these early stages.
Back here to Wilson Brown. Some of those who played international football last month were back a little bit later than others. And Matt, you said it was 8 years since your last pre-season, which seems to have whizzed by. But as a first-team squad, when everyone comes back at different moments, at different times, how easy is it for everyone to then get at some stage up to that same level they need to be?
I think it's a lot different from when obviously I was playing. You could go away and not do too much, and then you're trying to get back into shape. Nowadays the players go away in shape and come back in shape, whether they've had international games, resting, or getting back up to a point where they need to be at. But I think in terms of the fixtures as well, it looks a good list for Leicester in preparation for the opening game of the season. Not too much travel. But they're all going to be in decent enough condition. It's just applying that match fitness.
There is Dewsbury Hall. Back to Fofana. You're both lucky enough to watch a bit of the other training which was going on before this match, and all of the running that takes place at this time of the year. But nothing quite like actually playing a pre-season match. Here is Flynn. Dewsbury Hall. Of course, that new deal. Ricardo. And now an opportunity for Callum Wright. Lovely from Sumare. Wright's done well. And that was almost the first real opening. Dewsbury Hall will pick it up. Flynn into Chowdhury. Now Sumare. It was suddenly the match sparked into life with that cute little touch. Dewsbury Hall, lovely initial movement to search for the pass, and decent piece of goalkeeping from Sam Slocum.
You can see that pattern, that inside run from the midfield. It was Samari that time, little reverse pass inside, cross ball flashed across goal. But it's that ball that Leicester are trying to exploit. It's obviously a tactic they're working on, and obviously the energy from the midfielders bursting into that space, and then the underlap or overlap depending on the situation, and then get bodies into the box. But then there's that slide ball that will open up, and you can already see it's hard work on Notts County's legs.
Brendan Rodgers is his third pre-season. Just a little stoppage in play there. The referee was checking that Sam Slocum was okay. Had to be sharp at the back just a minute or so ago when Patson Daka was bearing down on them. Samsa Chowdhury snaps in and wins it. And Rawlinson has done well under pressure. It's for the 99.9% of their long history, Notts County. They were a Football League club, the oldest professional football club in the world. Heading now into their fourth season out of the Football League, and most certainly hoping the wait to get back into League Two is perhaps only 9 or 10 months away.
It's always difficult if you drop down the step to come back up with only 2 teams promoted. It's a difficult ask, but they'll be hoping to put that right this year.
Here is Wilson Brown. Yeah, it's a mammoth season, the National League. 44 regular season games and then a long playoff competition as well. Flynn couldn't quite work that back to Wilson Brown. I would suggest in the opening 17 minutes that the new head coach, Luke Williams, will be pretty happy with what he's seen.
Yeah, obviously it's a big test for Notts County coming into it against a Premier League opposition, and so far they're holding their own. If Leicester can just move the ball a little bit quick in their areas, find that right pass and right cross, I'm sure they'll open up as well as the game goes on. But so far Notts County would be pleased with this.
Yeah, the man who led them to the National League playoffs, Ian Birchnell, is now at Forest Green Rovers. I wanted handball there. Wesley Fofana picked it up. Ricardo goes back to Everson. Pretty much been a spectator, apart from that one worry from the corner kick. Fofana's ball, right, left it beautifully. Sumare. Here is Flynn. Now Barnes. Callum Wright has come from right wing over to this near side. It's a low block from Notts County though, and they're never easy to get through, and now an opportunity perhaps. Hamza Chowdhury is having to fill in at right back.
He's done so well there to hold up play. Super defensive cover by Hamza.
Work back to Sam Slocum, who took a bit of a risk there against Patson Daka. Notts County come away with the ball. Rodriguez, firm pass on to Naman, who created a nice bit of space for himself. The cross was overhit, but once again, Notts County showing what they're all about.
Yeah, again, playing on that low block to the counter and then exploiting a 2v1 potentially. Leicester was slow to recover there, actually. Could have been in a spot of bother with a bit more quality. Actually liked Callum Wright in there, showed a bit of awareness, invention, stepping the ball over, and I think Leicester need to show a bit more of that around the box. If it's tight with bodies behind it, they've got to move it a little bit quicker and show a bit of spark, some invention. If it's flat in there, keep that ball moving, maybe a step over, a little dummy. They need more of that, especially around the 18-yard box.
Patson Daka there was weaving his way across the Notts County back line. The ball was not quite ever on for Ricardo, but you got a perfect vantage point up the ladder on the gantry here, and you can see all the things Leicester are trying to do, and Soumare has been central to it. Here's Wright. Lovely ball. Harvey Barnes. Not quite, but that is the closest Leicester have come to the opening goal in pre-season.
Yeah, super tidy move down that right-hand side. Started with Ricardo inside to Callum Wright. Bit of half a yard, cut back. Barnes has got across the line. Great first touch. And then he's just tried to reverse it into that far corner, and it's inches past that post. Super move by Leicester. Great first touch. In fact, slightly up, made it a little bit more difficult. Thought it was a better touch than actually was. Made it a little bit difficult. Good connection, reverse ball, and it's inches past the post. Great move by Leicester there.
11 goals in all competitions for Harvey Barnes last season, as I mentioned. A year ago, he was still very much coming back from that really serious injury that he picked up.
He gets himself in some great positions, though, does Harvey. Obviously, the numbers were good last year in terms of goals and assists, but he does get himself positioned really well. Areas you want your wide player to be in. He's not sleeping when the ball's on the opposite side of the pitch, and that's where you mainly wingers get the goals. You always associate them cutting in and getting the shots away, but it's normally them ones where cross from the opposite side and the midfielder times his run to get onto the end of it.
We saw that there, right? He's left wing, but he picked up the ball on the right-hand side of the box. Here is the man who has really made things happen, Hamza Chowdhury, for another excellent piece of defending for Leicester City.
That was phenomenal covering play by Hamza Chowdhury. As we mentioned at the start of the game, he'll want to show what he's about, and that certainly is what Hamza Chowdhury gives to the side. He certainly looks lively. He obviously beat his man, and then Hamza's come across and made a vital challenge to just divert it around for a corner kick. Super covering.
Second of this first half for Notts County, and again it's going to be Ed Francis who will swing this in. Caused a problem the last delivery from this side. Big shout and a big punch from Everson away.
That's what you want your goalkeeper to do, and that was excellent.
Cameron with a nice pass there, and Dewsbury Hall's clearance has cannoned off Wilson Brown, and Everson had to be alert once more.
Yeah, Everson was spot on initially, coming for the cross, good distance on the punch, got out of danger, and then Leicester slightly switched off with the ball, the second ball, and a sort of a mix-up. Clearance wasn't quite right, and Everson's onto it.
Now here is Ricardo. Back to Hamza Chowdhury. He's covered almost every blade of grass, it seems, in this opening.
He's been certainly lively, hasn't he?
He certainly has. Ricardo's ball is a cute one. And Daka. All under control well. Here is Soumare. Ricardo back to Hamza Chowdhury. You can see just how deep Notts County are.
Yeah, Leicester just need to move it a little bit quicker now.
Very big shout from Sam Slocum, and I would suggest a pretty good piece of defending there from Notts County as a whole team. They look very organised.
Yeah, they're organised, bodies behind the ball, but Leicester have just got to move it a little bit quicker, draw Notts County out. If it's not on, keep the ball moving there. It was just a hopeful cross from Ricardo. Should have just kept the ball moving, try and draw Notts County out, or if not, someone go and tap the player to see if someone will come out. If not, a shooting opportunity may occur.
The words of Matty Fright on LCFC TV. He knew a thing or two about scoring goals in your long career. Here is Hamza Chowdhury again. The pattern of the game has been set almost since second one, let alone minute one. We probably expected that Leicester would have nearly all the ball and Notts County would try and soak up the pressure.
Yeah, it's turned out that way so far. But still, from a Leicester point of view, and especially Daka as well, if the ball's on to be played early like it is there, that's what he's after. If there's space with the line being held relatively high, just pop it into an area, get him running after it, and then we, as a team, can squeeze up behind it.
Daka worked hard there to try and win it back. Flag stayed down. It may have gone up had Daka been on the end of it, but it was almost a very encouraging moment.
Yeah, as a forward, you've got to be constantly making them runs. It's not the first one, the second one. It might be the 20th run you get actually in behind. But as a forward, you've got to keep on saying, I want that ball down the sides of the centre-backs. And it was duly delivered that time. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much on it.
Matt Palmer back to Conor Rawlinson. That was a very, very accurate pass. Ricardo blocks it. Callum Wright did well to get that back to the captain for the first half today. Now Wesley Fofana. Ricardo has a little bit of space to work in, and he's never shying in coming forward.
This is where Leicester just need to speed it up a little bit. Out from the one side, it's blocked off, come out the other way. Keep Notts County moving.
Here's Dewsbury Hall. He immediately wanted to think about going forward then when it arrived at his feet. Flynn back to Wilson Brown. It's certainly physically, given he was playing under 18s football last season, Leicester's number 6 in this first half does not look out of place, surrounded by all these first teamers.
No, he's handled the occasion well so far and certainly doesn't look out of place.
Closing down there, helping Leicester win it. Barnes. Daka tries to battle away. Notts County come away with the ball. Here's Cameron. Will be one of the pre-season favourites to go up, but as you mentioned, Matty, it's a very tough division to get out of, the National League. First goes up automatically. Everyone else from 2nd to 8th, I think, goes into the playoff.
Yeah, you rarely see the team who gets promoted from the conference go back down, the National League, should I say. I'm still referring to when I used to play in terms of the conference, but the National League, you really see, you very rarely see teams get relegated from that promoted side.
Often go up again into League One. If not immediately, then some stage in the future. A decision has gone Leicester's way there.
Super work by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. It's great to see, obviously, the play live and the energy that he provides to the side. He's just got back, find the ball, intercept it, then he was away and just got caught down, trailing leg.
Premier League match, FA Cup match, Europa League match, pre-season friendly. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall seems to play it the same way, and I always feel something is going to happen when Dewsbury Hall is on the ball.
It's all them runs, it's just, I'm tired even watching him.
Yeah, your job was to hang in the penalty area though, Matt.
Yeah, I don't think I could even do that now.
Here is Sumare. Barnes is the target. And a man is not as tall as Barnes, but he defended very well. And opportunity here for Mitchell. Hamza Chowdhury stuck to his task again very well.
Yeah, it started Samari, who's been lively so far, showing what he can do on the ball, but it was a slightly forced pass, and then Notts County won the count, and Hamza again, he's done really well as the covering defender, slowed down Mitchell, who's looked a threat, to be honest, and again, got a block in. I think that's the 3rd or 4th block Hamza's put in, and it's gone away for a corner, but that was excellent covering defending, showing patience.
This is Notts County's 3rd corner again. It's going to be Francis. He's hung that one up. Cameron, just a bit of a shove in the back of Hamza Chowdhury. Referee's happy for the game to go on. Sumare gave Callum Wright an option. On we go.
Looked like 2 fouls there, obviously the one on from the corner and then on Sumare.
I barely heard the referee's whistle actually in the opening half an hour.
I just had to have a look if he was on the pitch, actually.
He blew up for that very early Hamza Chowdhury foul, and the Kiernan Dewsbury Hall one a minute or so ago. But apart from that, he's let it flow. And here is Daka. And Barnes with a brilliant run. Harvey Barnes scores emphatically and gets Leicester's first goal of pre-season. A fine move and a thumping finish.
Absolutely class. Running across the line, timed his run to perfection, away from the defender, burst into the area, and then tucked it away superbly into the bottom right-hand corner. Pace and power by Barnes. That little slip ball by Daka. Superbly taken. And that's what you need to get the campaign underway, even in pre-season. Confidence. That's what Harvey Barnes is all about. Excellent finish by him.
Harvey Barnes in full flight is a joy to watch. And that was excellent. And it has arrived literally on the point when we're going to have a drinks break after 30 minutes, given how hot it is at Seagrave today. And Leicester can have a sip of water or an isotonic drink and feel very good about themselves after that goal from Harvey Barnes.
Perfect timing, wasn't it? Just on the drinks break. And again, perfect timing by Harvey. Great through ball, timed his run to perfection. And a well-earned drinks break. Very warm conditions. They'll need to take liquids on board and a few instructions. Looks like Brendan's got the tactics board out saying what's needed while the players get a little bit of a respite.
You're getting some great access today on LCFC TV. Luke Williams, who was formerly an assistant at Swansea and MK Dons. He's been a first-team coach at Swindon, but let's just listen to this from Brendan Rodgers and watch the manager at work.
Just trying to listen into Luke Williams there and what he's after. Obviously down to my left here. I think he wants Matty Palmer on the ball a little bit more. Pleased with how they've defended up until Barnes' opportunity. But by all accounts, seems pleased with this team.
Elite earwigging from Matty Fryatt there. We are right above where Notts County's new head coach is giving his instruction, and you can understand that he'd be happy with what he's seen thus far, undone by a bit of serious Premier League class just before this drinks break. But
yeah, even in a pre-season game or that is the quality. Even on the breakaway, obviously Notts County have a few little half moments, not as clear as what Barnes has created, but then you just see that power and speed and the quality of the pass, the timing of the run and the composure with the finish. And that sometimes is a difference. I'm trying to earwig Brendan as well, but unfortunately, as big as my ears are, I can't actually hear what he's saying.
It's a fascinating watch, though. Jamie Vardy, one of those who is here not involved today. Brendan Rodgers giving this first half 11 some real instructions ahead of the last 15 minutes when this group of players will be on the pitch. And this is, as I said, it's a really great insight into his methods, his delivery, and what happens in pre-season.
Yeah, obviously it's getting match sharpness and game time and preparing for the season, but at the same time you want to sort of implement what you want to do for the season as well. So there's a little bit of both, and you can tell instructions were what he was after there. I think he was talking to Ricardo, maybe possibly overlapping. It seemed like he was gesturing to the right, or it needed to switch out from one side to the other.
So the drinks break is done, and it is a hot afternoon. It's we're due for some excellent weather. Leicester are heading off to Evian on Monday. And there is the goal scorer Harvey Barnes, who couldn't quite take his first chance, but he most definitely did with his second, and that is why Notts County are about to get this first half back underway.
Again, what you're after in a wide player, getting into scoring opportunities. He's had that one that's flashed past the post, and then he's obviously got the goal, but he's getting in the right positions, and that's what you want.
So 1-0 to Leicester City, courtesy of Harvey Barnes. And he is hurtling after Notts County immediately. They always say never to worry too much about results in pre-season as Ricardo gets back, but we heard from Danny Simpson before kick-off, Matty, that from a player's perspective, you still want to win matches. You're a competitive bunch, and I imagine you would say the same thing.
You want to get off to a good start regardless, and it's more sort of a pre-season is about the individual. Maybe fringe players, experienced players getting the minutes, fringe players wanting to impress, young players wanting to impress, and getting through it but feeling sharp. And at the same time, if you can pick up wins, but you want to feel good, giving you that preparation for the opening games.
4 weeks tomorrow, Brentford come to King Power Stadium, and then it doesn't really stop until the break for the World Cup in November.
Hopefully it goes like last season. Win against Brentford at home, win against Southampton at home. It would be a nice start.
Yeah, terrific end to last campaign. Leicester securing, of course, another top 10 finish. They weren't far off the final European place in the end either, despite the likes of Wesley Fofana, who we see now on the ball, missing so much of the season due to injury.
Yeah, that's the old adage as well in pre-season. You don't want to pick up any unnecessary injuries, and you want everyone to come through it unscathed. Leicester will be hoping for that, certainly this season, because last season it was just relentless in terms of the injury front.
I think that word, unnecessary, was the most galling thing about that awful tackle in the Villarreal friendly. It was entirely unnecessary on Wesley Fofana, and tremendous personal cost to him. But fortunately, we've not seen anything like that today in the opening 37 minutes. It will be Spanish opposition in the final pre-season friendly this year as well. Sevilla at King Power Stadium, a week before the season starts in earnest.
Notts County showing some patience now. Stepping on the ball, Leicester have dropped in, keeping the shape well.
That was really good from Wright. Dacker's touch to Dewsbury Hall. Wright's on it again, and out of your picture, Harvey Barnes was making another of those runs. Sumari into Ricardo, just about keeps it in play. It's a lovely piece of skill. Dewsbury Hall can't keep it, and Mitchell did well. And the man is on to that once more. Good pace from Flynn.
Cheeky, by the way, from Mitchell. We'll note that one down.
He's had some really nice moments, Notts County's number 7, and he's helped win the ball there well.
They are looking for that crossfield diagonal, either onto the side of Flynn, and moments before it was the same for Pereira, but Pereira certainly put the jets on and covered any danger that was occurring.
They do have a throw-in. There's a bit more than 6 minutes to go until half-time after that drinks break on 30 minutes. No one has gone through the motions, though, in this first half thus far. It's gone along at quite the lick. Some big beefy tackles as well.
Yeah, there's been the tackles, there's been lots of energy. It hasn't been a slow pre-season game, and both teams have sort of gone for it.
There is Sumare. Back to Fofana.
Just a little bit loose, bit of nerves. You could hear the instructions from Brendan saying move it quickly. It might have been in his thoughts. It happens sometimes, and that's when you've got to show what you're about. Even though it was a loose one from Wilson Brown, he's just got to step up to that and really fire it in and not worry about the instruction.
Now Mitchell, he could be in here. That's a very good piece of defending from Ricardo. And Swansea, it wasn't offside by the looks of things, so it will be Notts County ball, and that was a big chance for Cairo Mitchell to level things up.
He's caused problems, hasn't he? Getting off his marker, turning a bit of space, opening it up, and then he's just there. He's just got the wrong side in terms of a Leicester perspective. Broke the offside trap, and Everson's done superb to stand up and make himself as big as possible to the last second. And it's a vital save. If not, it was in the back of the net, and I think the pressure from Ricardo just did enough.
Another big shout now. Is that going to loop in, and is that going to stand? It is. Well, I wonder whether Daniel Everson had been fouled there. Referee's whistle did not go, and Notts County have levelled it up at 1-1, and Leicester ask a question as to whether that was a foul in the build-up.
Let's have a look. Yeah, Everson hasn't got the flight of it quite correct, hasn't taken the ball from its highest point, and it sort of hit the top of the Notts County player's head and looped down, and no one's really reacted to it, and it's a soft goal to concede, unfortunately. Just before the break, it's disappointing from a Leicester perspective.
Well, they have threatened in this first half, the National League team, and they levelled things up. Cairo Mitchell got the final touch, and you'll probably argue Notts County's most dangerous player has a goal to celebrate.
He's looked a threat, hasn't he? Got to give him credit, has looked a threat, and whether it's fortuitous his goals come about, it has looked a threat, and so far he can be pleased with his work, and Leicester need to get him under wraps and sort out them frailties that they had so much last season on set plays, but really deal with it even early doors in pre-season matches.
There is Hamza Chowdhury. Now Wesley Fofana. Ricardo. Again, just a bit of space to operate in. He's looked for Daka. And he scooped that back to Callum Wright, not quite.
It's a great run and a great spot by Ricardo. Clipped in, chest control. I think there with Daka, that's a part of his game he needs to work on a bit. He's inside the box, get under control. If he can't swivel or back heel it as he's trying to do, hook it over his head, get under control, bring other players into the game, then spin back into the box.
Slocum, oh, he closed down well there. He is right. Daka, firm pass back to right. Excellent hit. And it cannons back off the post. Leicester win it back. Chowdhury to Ricardo. Dewsbury Hall. And Notts County have survived, but only just. And still haven't cleared the ball, but actually they worked that very nicely, and Cameron's ball was good. And Brad McGregor is fouled by Ricardo, and after all that, it's still 1-1.
Yeah, Callum Wright doing what he did so well for Cheltenham last year, getting inside the box, good touch, shifted out of his feet, looked like he was slightly trapped under there, and he's just fizzed one, and it's crashed against the bottom post and come out, and Notts County were able to clear it. But good positioning again by Callum Wright. He's had his moments in this first half, and he'll be wanting to show what he can do, building on the successful loan season he had last year.
Here is Daka. This is where he frightens defenders. That's a clever back heel as well. And Leicester's front three all involved, and Notts County did very well to repel that threat.
Again there with Daka, I'm thinking with his speed, just attack, play the ball into space, and it's a foot race. Can you catch me?
The man has done well again for Notts County, and it was Fofana who got his positioning spot on. By Rami, it's a good watch, this pre-season friendly, as for once Cairo Mitchell can't cause too many problems. Well shepherded there by Fofana back to Daniel Everson. Oh, here's Daka. And Harvey Barnes is hurtling forward in the middle. Daka to Dewsbury Hall. Leicester's goal scorer Harvey Barnes in the sunshine. Notts County can hear that communication is really good from the National League side. And they've forced Leicester back. Here is Barnes. Excellent run from Shane Flynn. The young Irishman has whizzed in a good ball. Dewsbury Hall picks it up. Barnes back to Dewsbury Hall. Patson Daka trying to nutmeg by Rami there. Wilson Brown with a very firm and a very good tackle. Fofana. It's a good intensity to both teams at the end of this first half.
Hold your line. Hold your line.
Oh, Ricardo, it's brilliant. It's right. And somehow Sam Slocum dives on the ball on the line. But it was brilliant football from Leicester City in the build-up.
That was wonderful combination play. It's showing what we mentioned before about that patience. It's built from the left over to the right-hand side, and that combination, right involved in it heavily there. Pereira, great footwork, and you're thinking, is it going to go in? Is there going to be a cutback? And the goalkeeper's managed to get on top of the ball, but great play, great combination, and really promising move there by Leicester, trying to get back in the lead before half-time.
Rodriguez sprayed a nice pass there. And Fofana very coolly chests it down. Sumare. Real strength and quality. And now Dewsbury Hall. Now Barnes is offside. Looked tight, and he was just the wrong side.
Super touch to start off by Bouba Samari in the middle midfield. Excellent touch, and it's that run again. Nearly falling off my chair here, I was getting that excited. Barnes, though, should be checking his line there. He's looking right across it, and he's just slightly got caught, but he shouldn't be offside there.
Last minute or so of the first half. That's a good run from Jim O'Brien. He was offside, he went for the spectacular anyway. Who can blame him in pre-season?
Yeah, I think he had to take it early anyway. I think his legs were giving up on him, especially against Wesley Fofana.
48 minutes of effort for all these players. Leicester's first minutes of pre-season. Notts County's second match. Barnes. To young Shane Flynn. Dewsbury Hall. And through to Slocum. And no one had perhaps gambled on that. And might just be that for the first half. We shall see how long the referee's going to add on. We don't have the boards. Rawlinson. Mitchell. It's good play from Wilson Brown and Hamza Chowdhury. They wanted to win that. Aggressive defending. Sumare has his pocket picked. And here is Palmer. Nice one too, and the man might just be in here again. It's Hamza Chowdhury who smelt the danger and snuffed it out. And that is half-time in Leicester's first pre-season test in 2022. It's been a real workout on a hot day. And this 11 will now have a sit-down and a rest. Leicester are going to change their entire team at half-time. Cairo Mitchell levelling things up for Notts County. He's been a real threat all afternoon long. And his goal came shortly after Harvey Barnes had superbly struck for Leicester City. So at the break in Seagrave, it is Leicester 1, Notts County 1.
Because memories never fade, no matter how long. We'll still remember the moments of excitement and the impressions of Thailand. Amazing Thailand, now even more amazing. More!
Match day. It doesn't start when the whistle blows. It starts with the lucky pair and the lucky party. It starts with making room for the real special one. And with choosing who's on for 2 goals today. It starts with picking up your mate and everyone he lives with apparently. It starts with the usual in the usual coffee house. Oh, and almost ends there. Don't want to leave those behind, eh? It starts with the walking, with the talking, and with that first glance of home. It starts with the next big thing. No, the next big thing. And maybe with a little nap for the tired one. It starts with a quick flick straight to the same player every week. With a quick tap on the way in, with a quick polish of a friend, and with a quick dash for the pies. It starts with finding a seat, with a deep breath of expectation, and with one last check. Here's to the highs, and to grabbing your share. FBS, always by your side.
Lamiat is the belief that perfection lies within the details, where the finest ingredients deserve the finest craftsmanship. In every pursuit of perfection, there is passion and perseverance, where attention to detail inspires a masterpiece that's balanced and in harmony. This is the Lamiat philosophy, brewed into every drop of Chang beer. This is the taste of Thai perfection. Chang beer. We brew friendship.
Welcome back to the sunshine in Seagrave. An excellent first 45 minutes of pre-season for Leicester City and Notts County. It's 1-1 at the break here. Matty Fright alongside myself, Chris Parrott, and we saw that was competitive, wasn't it? And it started with a brilliant goal from Harvey Barnes.
It certainly was competitive. It was frantic at some moments. Counter play, one end to the other, and that goal from Barnes was just mentioned, just earwigging again. Luke Williams, and that's Premiership quality, isn't it? Through ball, great bursting run by Harvey into the 18-yard box and tucked it away superbly, which you'd expect by him, but already looks full of confidence, and that's a great way to sort of open his count, even albeit a pre-season game.
And it started with Ricardo winning the ball aggressively from a Leicester point of view, and almost from second one we saw the intensity that I think Brendan Rodgers wants from his team. Pre-season friendly or Premier League match, we saw that from the start of the game, didn't we?
It's difficult, especially in a pre-season game with the heat. First game back, but obviously the press is there. Brendan wants the team to press, and there's on the front foot from minute one, and you could see from there Ricardo's pressing, ball's been turned over, and then that's the quality and the counter play bit all initiates from the first press.
Well, Notts County have come here to play as well. It's their second pre-season game, and Cairo Mitchell caused problems, and eventually he got the goal that he would probably say that he deserved. He couldn't score the first chance, but then from the corner he did.
He's looked a threat, hasn't he? Again, getting on the half turn, he's found good little positions, and this one he's made a diagonal run across the back line, got him behind, good save, stood up well, did Everson there. Great movement, to be fair, by him. Slightly flat line. He's done so well to stand up, made himself big, got a crucial save on it.
And it was from this resulting corner that then the equaliser came, and now from a Leicester perspective, that we'll see it in a second here, there were big shouts for a foul. Do you think it was, or do you think it's one of those that, I'm guessing maybe as a former centre forward, you might have been upset if it had been blown up?
He's taken the first one early in the game where he's punched it away and commanded this area, and this one he's sort of hasn't caught it at the highest point. It's sort of coming down on him. Everson hasn't really done enough there. I think it's caught the back of the Notts County player's head, and it's just dropped fortuitously, and Notts County made to tuck it in, but really needs there to command his box a little bit more for me. I wouldn't give that as a free kick, no.
Mitchell's has looked dangerous for Notts County. What do you think Brendan Rodgers will make of the whole 45 minutes as a whole? We know that results are not the most important thing, particularly at this stage of a pre-season, having only just really come back here to Seagrave full stop.
I think he'll be a little bit mixed. Obviously it's good to get minutes under the belt. There's been some good passages of play, combination plays, darting runs from midfield, and good some moments where Leicester looked lively even in pre-season under warm conditions. But again, don't want to harp on it about too much, but look fragile at times, particularly defending set plays and them corner issues, which he'll want to get that addressed even in pre-season.
At the other end of the pitch, we saw Harvey Barnes score. We've seen that already. We saw Harvey Barnes and Callum Wright have other big opportunities as well, and we can watch one of those now, and particularly down that right-hand side, Leicester have looked really, really sharp.
The combination has been excellent between Ricardo and Callum Wright, showing what he can do. Intricate play. This one where Barnes has gone across the line, touch inside and then flashed across goal. Good play by both wingers, not sleeping when the ball's the other side of the pitch. Good combination play, good opportunity. Unlucky not to score there.
This was at 0-0. Harvey Barnes then took his opportunity, and we'll see in a moment after this highlight of the chance that Callum Wright came ever so close to getting on the score sheet. He had a brilliant season last campaign on loan away in the third tier, and he's come back clearly wanting to make his mark.
Yeah, he'll be wanting to impress. Whether he can force his way into Brendan's plans or not, time will only tell. It might be another loan opportunity higher up the leagues. But he's looked promising, especially in the first half. He's had little moments, love his awareness, and that's a super effort that's just hit the base of the post.
And again, Leicester pressing from the front, quite literally. in Patson Daka. That has been pretty obvious to see that Brendan Rodgers wants Leicester to do that today, and maybe for pre-season, and maybe when the campaign kicks off in 4 weeks' time.
I think Leicester are at the best when they're pressing on the front foot, high energy, high tempo, all out, engaged. Don't get the opposition a moment on the ball, and then again that opportunity occurred through that initial press. Maybe not be the first press, it might be the second or third, but to be putting up the effort and commitment already in these conditions is showing their intentions.
Right, with that opportunity again on that occasion. Well, as we let you just have a watch at how close this was, Sam Slocum just about managed to dive on the ball, on the line to keep it out. But yeah, that was the first half. Now Leicester are going to change their whole 11 for the second period. One man who isn't playing today but is back in training is Wilfred Ndidi, who of course missed so much of last season, but he's back and he's raring to go, as you can hear now.
Will, firstly, how was your summer?
My summer was good. It was short, but it was enjoyable. Yeah.
We're at the start now of week 2 of pre-season. Is it getting harder or is it getting easier on the body?
To be fair, the first week was really hard because the body is trying to adapt, getting used to it. But I just feel like once the body gets used to it, it'll be good in the next weeks.
As you said yourself, it was quite a short break anyway, and I know you had that injury towards the end of the season, but because it was short, I guess it's easier to regain the fitness again. You've not been away for too long.
Yeah, of course. I was away for just 2 weeks, and I've been working my way back and went away 2 weeks, came back early. So the body is already adapted to it, so it's good for me. I'm actually in a much better place.
There's a number of double sessions, isn't there, in these first few weeks. Is it good to be down here all day at Seagrave, at the training ground, to get used to the facilities again, to get used to your teammates again?
Yeah, of course. It's the first weeks of pre-season, which is absolutely normal, and trying to get used to the training and all back again. I think is really, really ideal for us to be here, and getting used to each other and getting the feeling back, knowing the tax I have.
Is the training a lot different in pre-season to what it is throughout the season? Is there more running maybe at this stage?
Of course, the training in pre-season is much harder than towards the season. This is just getting the body worked up and getting ready, so it is really hard.
But the football's been out there, you've been doing a lot of drills, a lot of competitive drills as well. I guess the intensity's been pretty good in these opening couple.
Of course, the intensity has been amazing, from the trainings we've been doing and seeing the lads, putting much effort and trying to be up there is really, really amazing, because you don't get that in just a week of after break, and then after 1 week everyone is already in the game, so it is good, and we're playing more football, so it's good.
At the end of this second week, of course, is that first pre-season game here at the training ground. Does the training sort of gear to...
Well, we had to break away from that Wilfred Ndidi interview because the second half is upon us. A whole new Leicester 11. Kelechi Iheanacho captaining the Foxes, and aside from the Nigerian star, this 11 is made up of the development squad and 2 development squad trialists today. Paul Apaya, who is on the ball here, and the left back Denish Hill, who gets his first touch and looking to impress and perhaps play their way into joining Leicester City's development squad on a full-time basis. Here is Kanya Leshabela. Back to Apaya. I'll go through the full 11 shortly when we have a break in play. Yestin Hughes picks out Iheanacho. And it's going to be a throw. It's Jakub Stolarczyk in goal. Back four of Yestin Hughes, Paul Apaya, Joe Worm-Leighton and Dennis Hill. 3 in midfield, still 4-3-3 in this second half. Brandon Cover, Wanyan Marcel Madevidua and Kanya Leshabella, with Tawanda Maswinis and Ethan Fitzhugh either side of Kelechi Iheanacho. They were all watching on for the first half, Matty Fright, and now they've had their instructions from Brendan Rodgers and they get their chance to impress. And it's not every day of the week that these youngsters get the chance to play in front of Brendan Rodgers and the first team coaches.
Certainly, it's a great opportunity for these young players out there. They've been looking on first half, seeing how competitive it was, intense, and they'll be wanting to show what they're about in this second period. Great opportunity for these players.
And the ball's been won high up the pitch there by Tawanda Maswinis, who had an excellent pre-season a year ago. And Maswinis almost made it 2-1. Brandon Cover, who has trained with the first team a lot in pre-season. The man with 11 on his back, under 18s last season. So this is a step up, if you like. Maswinis, another effort from him, and a very impressive opening 2.5 minutes from Tawanda Maswinis.
Bright start, isn't it? Initially the cross, good cross into the box, and there he's got half a yard, and he's tried his luck. Why not? He's got into good position, good touch, little bit of pocket space, and tried to curl one into that far top corner. Good effort, showing his intentions.
Not too far away. Saw there in that replay just how glorious Seagrave looks today. Second pre-season here for Leicester City in this new facility. And Matty, you made your way across all the pitches you can see in the distance to the country here, and you were amazed, impressed by the quality of the surface that they get to train on nowadays.
Just a bit. The ground staff have done really well. Credit to them. It is, I don't know if they're football pitches or bowling greens these days. It is, it's a tremendous sight to be up at the training ground. It is top notch. Even the lines and the patterns, it's something to behold.
Notts County didn't make wholesale changes at half-time. They still may do as the second period goes on, but for now, Cornell Rawlinson is still out there. And I listened into the head coach's half-time team talk, and he was happy with what he'd seen from his players and how they defended, and with the quality they'd had going forward as well. Cameron steps in to win it. And now we get almost a change in scenario, that this is Notts County's some senior players against some young Leicester players, whereas in the first half it was some international stars against Notts County's National League players. So it's all change.
Yep, spot on there. It's roles reversed, isn't it? You've got first half where you've got internationals, the so-called lower division players.
And they could be in here. That's a very dangerous ball, and Cairo Mitchell almost tucked it home for 2-1.
That is it. What we talked about, the flip of it, where you've got senior pros, experienced pros, being patient, and they can play a bit as well. That's a good move. Ball fizzed across the box, and I think Mitchell couldn't get on the end of it, but as much as you're a young player and you want to do well in the team that you put in, at the same time you're up against regular players who know what it's all about and don't want to be turned over as well.
Kelechi Iheanacho applauds the idea of the pass. He'll be itching to get involved. This time last season, he was coming into pre-season as Leicester's top scorer from the previous campaign, and that golden run of form. He's leading the youngsters in this second half, really, and that's when he's looked for Iheanacho once more on that occasion. Every time he's got the ball, and he featured last pre-season.
It's the right ideas, isn't it? Saw the run by Iheanacho and tried to slide it behind, but showed vision and the right intentions.
Here is Madivadua. Back to cover. It's Brendan Rodgers, a regular watcher of the under-18s and formerly the under-23s. It's changed to the under-21s for this campaign. But it's all about these youngsters, and you can see just over there, just in your shot, was Kolo Toure, who's coaching the back four, actually. He's right in line with them, giving some instructions over there. Yestin Hughes, cute little ball. Iheanacho might get there, you know. Good piece of defending from Sam Slocum.
What a fantastic delivery that was by Hughes, spotting the run. Great ball down the side, just arcing it into Iheanacho's pass, and it slightly just skid off the surface into the keeper's hands. But great ball, get Iheanacho turned and at defenders.
Signed from Manchester United a year ago or so. Maswanis there almost caused a bit of a problem. Jim O'Brien. Cameron to his fellow centre-half Rawlinson. It's really well won by Joe Worm-Leighton there. And it might lead to a chance here for Iheanacho. Flag is up, otherwise the referee might have had a decision to make.
Super play by Worm-Leighton there. Reading the play, stepping in front. With the loose touch, he was straight onto it. Managed to turn possession over in Leicester's favour. Excellent play by the young centre-back.
It's that same aggressive intent that we're so used to seeing from, in particular, Wesley Fofana when he plays. Cover. Francis, it's a tough one for Appiah to deal with. And it's going to go out of play. He was at Aston Villa last season, just 19. Trialist today for the development squad.
That'll be an interesting contest between those two. Mitchell and Appiah, two big lads. Keep your eye on that one, I think. Certainly looks a physical presence at the back.
Good looking ball here for Palmer. Notts County's playmaker, really, and he's dug out a neat pass. And that was very, very good from Madivadua. Hughes, composure there. And Appiah will clear. And the way it's worked out, Matty, Brendan Rodgers and co getting to see these two development squad trialists against senior pros, which can only be a good thing to see how they fare against some players a lot more experienced than them.
Exactly, it's real football, isn't it? You're talking about players that played 300 odd games plus. It's always, sometimes you can have a physical mismatch in youth football or 21s football, but this against senior professionals, and see how they would deal with things, little tips and tricks and little cues you get from playing against these players. So it's a good test.
Francis will swing it in. Great header. And Jakub Stolasic with a very, very good save. That was heading in from Carl Cameron. Corner has been taken quickly. As we look at that replay, that looked like it was 2-1.
Super save by Stolasic. Done really well to parry it round the corner. Again, unconvincing from set plays by Leicester, and that experience of the centre-back coming across this man and getting the initial contact on it.
Here's Leshabella. Oh, referee doesn't give a penalty. He was in a perfect position there. Palmer against cover. Gets the pass away, the Notts County player. And Francis and Palmer, they're beginning to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, Leicester need to get on top of this. Notts County showing a bit of control and authority and playing up the ball around very nicely.
Back here to a pot. That's a really good looking ball. And the touch of Maswinis, he was offside, but it was certainly the right idea.
What a crossfield pass that was. Absolutely perfect onto the chest, slightly got ahead of the ball, and just again, like Barnes in the first half, just needs to watch his run. He's got the pace to stretch the play, so doesn't need to go too early, and he's looking straight across the line, but fabulous pass by Apaya there.
Slocum. He chips that up towards Mitchell. Again, it's done well, but it's Apaya who comes across, and he helped out Joe Wormleighton there.
Good covering round there. One centre-back goes, the other covers round and deals with it, and now Leicester can play out from the back.
And they won't have played too much football together as well. Back here to Leshabella.
This is where Leicester need to move it a bit quicker. Out from the left to the right, needs to be moved quick.
It's Cameron who dives in. You can hear from where we are anyway, the applause from the coaching setup. And I wonder from a Notts County perspective, given it's a new head coach, whether he's wanting to see some of his real first teamers for a longer spell today, just to crystallise what he thinks of them if he knows they're going to be key personnel ahead of the upcoming season.
Yeah, I think so, especially squads aren't as big lower down. I think you want your main players, or your so-called main players, playing a bit more minutes, and then you'll obviously make changes as the game goes on, but you'll want to see the plan and the actions, and I think Notts County are now enjoying themselves.
This is a brilliant move, and Jakub Stalacic had to be very, very aware, but that was slick football from Notts County.
Moving it around quick, aren't they, Notts County? Into Matty Palmer, he's dictating things, enjoying himself, got spread out to this left-hand side, and Stalacic's got to be aware. He was certainly there, anticipating the cross, and did well to gather.
Here is Ian Atro. Excellent driving run. Madi Vidua takes it on, and that will be a corner kick for Leicester as we approach the hour mark.
Dangerous again, Ian Nacho, always a threat in that position. He can twist and turn, he's got that trickery, good little reverse pass into a dangerous area.
Big booming header away there, and I think Wormleighton knew that he had to either get ball or man there, otherwise Notts County would have been breaking away, and he is going to get spoken to here by the referee. This was a competitive fixture. I would suggest that would be a yellow card.
And they say nothing's going on pre-season games. That was pretty full-blooded, that one.
Turned around and expected the yellow card, but it doesn't come out now. We've hit the hour mark, and Notts County are now going to make their first changes.
Yeah, there's several players who are going to be changed in front of me.
9 or 10 by the looks of things. I won't try and go through all of them now, but try and work out whether everyone here today is going to get minutes. I think they are, and would suggest from Luke Williams and Notts County's point of view that is an hour which will have really pleased him and his coaching staff. They kick off their season in the National League a day before Leicester do, so still 4 weeks away, and I think we've seen a lot of quality as the substitutes, including Luther, Mudakan, Dafa, make their way on. And the Leicester players are going to have a drink and some instruction from Brendan Rodgers as well.
Yeah, Notts County will be pleased with that. Good 60 minutes under the belt for their main players. I think they was just getting on top of the game then, controlling it. As we mentioned, the senior players sort of dictating play. And yet Leicester's young players so just go control themselves, stay in it, keep the shape, and then move the ball quickly when the opportunity happens.
Brendan Rodgers there praising Paul Apaya for that crossfield pass that we saw, and those words of wisdom I'm sure will mean a lot from the main man, if you like, these development squad players getting the opportunity to play under, quite literally under Brendan Rodgers for 45 minutes today.
Yeah, Apaya, you can already tell, likes that penetrative pass in behind the defensive line. He's tried, well, he had that crossfield one and then he's tried another one. He certainly does try and attempt them balls and playing from the back through lines, which Brendan Rodgers really likes, that build-up play through the lines. He goes on about that quite a lot, so that's encouraging so far.
Well, he's a very tall teenager, Paul Apaya. I would suggest you get praise like that from Brendan Rodgers as a trialist. He might just feel a couple of feet taller out there for at least the next 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I think he's going to be as tall as the floodlights at this rate.
He's up against a different centre forward now. They have changed everybody, Notts County. And here is an opportunity, perhaps. It's a good piece of defending from Denise Hill. It's a nice break. It was Adebayo Rowling who has won them a corner.
Excellent recovery pace by Hill there. They do like that crossfield diagonal or the ball down the side to Notts County. They've worked that well so far during the game, and Hill's got back in and recovered into shape well.
First set piece. There's a nice breeze at Seagrave today, and it's Apaya with a very, very good header away, and he completes the clearance. And Matty Fry, he almost had a header to deal with here on the gantry.
It was nearly on my head, that one.
I was leaving it for you, by the way, had it come all the way up here.
No, I was certainly going to be on to you if it wasn't.
Still, I think the score of the quickest goal in Leicester City history.
Still holding on. Still holding on. Thanks for that, by the way.
Ian Acho battling hard, a little too hard for the referee's liking. Notts County took that quickly. Mudakan Dafa here. It's back to Adam Chickson, who's taken over as captain. And that is a vicious ball, and that is a wonder save from Jakub Stolarczyk. How's he kept that out? And how are Notts County not 2-1 up?
What a brilliant save that is by Stolarczyk. He's so quick across this line to get anything on that. It's an absolute delicious delivery across the 6-yard box in that corridor of uncertainty, and Stolarczyk's so quick across this goal and manages to get, is it a foot on it? Hand away? He's done enough to somehow smother the shot and get away from danger. What a superb save that is.
2 now in this second half for the Polish under-21 international who was on loan at Dunfermline in Scotland, the back end of last season. Think of the quality of the goalkeeping department here. Messrs Ward and Schmeichel not involved today, but Stolarczyk and Everson have been the 2 goalkeepers. Free kick goes the way of Notts County.
just shows the quality, like you said, in terms of the goalkeeping department, where you've got a young boy coming in, and that's an absolute tremendous save.
There's Chickson who put that cross in. Maswanis tried to press and win that. Aidan Baldwin, who is playing for Notts County for the first time today, joined from NK Dons. And they're in a dangerous position again. Chickson involved once more. Maybe just slightly guilty of overplaying there, Brandon Cover, but he was fouled. And here is Hill, the other development squad trialist today. Full Bermuda international already. Back here to the player of the second half, really, thus far. Leicester City's goalkeeper.
Yeah, Leicester just need to keep the ball for a little bit. Just keep the ball moving. Wait for Notts County to come out them holes and then exploit them. If not, just keep the ball moving. Enjoy the ball for a few minutes. Hot day. Keep them moving.
Ashabella, really good ball. Madavidua is offside. I expected the flag to go up because he had the freedom of Seagrave otherwise.
Good run. Again, slightly gone a little bit early, but not a bad run. Good idea. Spotted the run. But yeah, always looked offside on that one.
This pre-season for Leicester continues on Monday. The first team squad, or a first team squad, heads to Evian for a training break. On their way back, Leicester play Leuven a week ago, or in a week's time. You can watch that on LCFC TV, and then a few more games after that as well, culminating in the game at King Power Stadium against Sevilla, and then the big one against Brentford. Maswanis has done really well. He's got a lot of blue shirts to aim for. It's Cover. And he makes space for the shot. Kept the ball patiently. Leshabella. Hughes helps it on to Madavidua. Scored a lot of goals last season for the development squad at under 23 level. Perfect pace on that pass. Here is Hill.
Dr. Nielsen, remember him?
I do. We're showing our age, Matty Fright, but yeah.
I think that was 15 step overs I counted there.
It's one way to make yourself noticed. Iheanacho couldn't bring that under control and runs through to Sam Slocum.
Good build-up play though, the patience, wasn't quite on, moved it around the area, went from inside to the area, out to the right, back to the left, and then through with Iheanacho on the edge of the box, who couldn't quite capitalise on it, but that's what Leicester need to do. A little bit more patience and keep that ball moving.
Help back here to Stolarczyk. Now Paul Appiah, who 20 minutes to go. Hasn't really put the foot wrong. Madavidua, that is a late challenge. Not quite sure which Notts County player took him out. It might have been Adam Chickson, but two went for him.
Yeah, I think he was caught in the middle of the sandwich, wasn't he? But positive though, driving forward. I think it was the back of his heel, and then Chickson took out his run, but positive. Like I say, Madavidua going at the defence, drawing them out, showing what he can do.
Portugal under 20 international, that's taken quickly. And Ethan Fitzhugh is disappointed that he couldn't pick out Maswanis. It was something that they saw was on, as Iheanacho causes a big nuisance. Cover might pick it up, but I think he has handled that, according to the referee. Certainly the whistle has gone.
You can see that press again. It was Iheanacho this time, pressing in the far corner. And opposition don't like it at times, do they? When you're having that high press and you've got numbers around it, whether you win it from the first ball or the second.
Managed to work through it on that occasion. And here is Roberts. Oh, really good piece of skill. And a very good tackle. He had to time that right, and the referee said that Danish Hill did.
That was absolutely brilliant skill. Who is it down at the far side? That is tremendous skill on the touchline.
Cal Roberts.
Yeah, absolute brilliant skill. And then Hill's just covered round, and he had to win the ball there. If not, it was a penalty. I think he did get a good contact on it to do enough. But great bit of skill there.
Here comes the corner again, headed away by Iheanacho emphatically. It's scrappy. It was a booming hit from Aidan Baldwin, and it's going to be another corner.
Even in pre-season, bodies on the line, go and attack it, put your head where it hurts. Good contact on the initial one, and then it's the block afterwards. That's what you've got to do to defend chances at corners, set plays, free kicks, whatever it is. You've got to go and attack that ball, and sometimes you're going to have to get one in the face.
James Morton, who is on trial at Notts County, takes that. And he's done well to work the ball back to his teammate, and Apai has done well to get his head in the right position to put that over his own crossbar as opposed to anywhere more threatening.
Good defensive clearance. Obviously, a fantastic ball in by Cole Roberts, who's looked lively after that little bit of skill. He's put a good ball into the box there, and Apai's got enough contact on it just to head it over the top of the crossbar.
Another corner. Morton, on that occasion, tried to pick somebody out with a low, flat pass, really. And the flag goes up. And then a scrappy couple of minutes comes to a close. These young Leicester players in the second half have been given a real test, and both head coaches, if you like, and both clubs will have taken a lot from this pre-season friendly, which is what it's all about. Worm Leighton on to Hill.
That's the thing with young players as well. It isn't always perfect. In 21s, 23s, there's not a lot on it. It isn't always perfect in the real game. It can be scrappy, it can go long, it can go direct. Teams play for second balls. And then you've just got to deal with them moments when they occur, and it's a good test for these young players.
Maswini's almost there. Again, pinched it, but Richard Brindley. He's played plenty of first-team football in his career. Madevidu is onto it. And what we've seen firsthand here today as well, Matty Fright, is that the second-half team playing the same formation as the first team in the first half, and trying to play in a similar style as well.
Yeah, trying to play in that similar style. Just break it on there, because Notts County like this crossfield ball.
Adebayo Rawling is onto it. And he's forced back on this occasion. 15 minutes left. And it's Notts County with the experience and with most of the chances in this second half. Madevidu, I thought he'd won it, but pops out to Brad McGregor, who has stayed on. That's another corner kick which Leicester are going to have to deal with.
Yeah, back to the point on Leicester and the formation. Brendan Rodgers tends to like one at the base and two in front, and it looks like, obviously in both of these formations here, that's been the case. One at the base and two further ahead, and with a focal forward with 2 flanking either side. So it seems like that could be the pattern. But I'm sure he'll mix it up during pre-season. But today he's gone exactly the same for both halves, just changed the personnel.
Morton, that was a very good header. I think it was St Baldwin, and it cannoned into somebody. I'm not sure if it would have perhaps been on target. It's back here with Tiernan Brooks, who's now between the sticks for Notts County, and they've won a throw high up the pitch.
Notts County have certainly upped the ante. A few crosses into the box, few corners, and they're certainly going for it.
Adam Chickson, Ethan Fitzhugh was onto him in a flash there. Touch was absolutely perfect. Roberts. Shabella managed to stick to him like glue. Well, he got away with the nibble at first, but he couldn't resist a second go, and Notts County have got themselves a platform here from this set piece.
Again, that's a little bit of naivety. You can't pinch the ball the wrong side, just draws it in to say, go and get it. Obviously, Roberts puts his body in the way of him and draws the foul, but a little bit of naivety there, and now Notts County have got an opportunity to deliver a ball into the box.
Stunning backdrop, Seagrave, for this Notts County set piece. 13 minutes to go of Leicester's first pre-season. Oh, it's a free header. And it is 2-1. It's Aidan Baldwin on his first appearance in Notts County colours, who has got on the end of that. Finally, Jakub Stolasic is beaten, and it's 2-1.
It's flat. It's been coming. They've been building momentum, corners, crosses coming into the box. Great delivery on that one. And Leicester flat, no one's attacked it. Met by Notts County, and Stolasic, as much as he made saves, is left with no chance with that one, unfortunately. Leicester flatline there, and no one really attacked it or tracked any runners, and Notts County have got the advantage.
Well, he certainly did. And Aidan Baldwin, who arrived from MK Dons this summer, has made his mark for Notts County, who are in the mood now. And here they come with Adebayo rolling. And they might have a chance for 3-1, taken off the toes of Diego Edwards by Joe Worm-Leighton. Leshabella. Madevidu is on the move. Can he provide any sort of surface for Lecce Iheanacho? That is going to be a corner kick.
Notts County can smell blood. They're certainly going for it. Leicester's young players have got to get a grip now. Start putting their gameplay into action and start using the ball a little bit quicker. Not conceding naive fouls, cheap fouls, and just steady, keep shape, and then once they've got the opportunity to play quick and play through. Haven't seen too much of Iheanacho, so maybe turn the back line and play over the top for a little bit.
Here comes the corner. Almost approached the edge of the box. Worm-Leighton went over. Pye tries to win it back, and Brooks whacks it away into a breeze, and it's fallen kindly in. Here is Sam Austin. Well to hold on to the ball. Just sent Roberts a little wide. Fleet of foot, as we've seen, and Roberts blasted over the bar.
Nearly caught on the counter there. Obviously started from a Leicester corner, and then Notts County broke quickly. Bodies eventually got back behind, but Roberts managed to get his shot away, and he's just got slightly under that one. Just rising, but he does show quick feet to get half a yard and get his shot away.
Worm-Leighton. 10 minutes to go. If you are just joining us, 2-1 to National League Notts County. Leicester fielded broadly a first team in the first half with 3 youngsters, and it's 1-1 at the break. Harvey Barnes scored for Leicester. The second half, this is a young academy team, really, with Kelechi Iheanacho, and Notts County have got on top with a much more experienced lineup out there. And they've shown why many Notts County fans are hoping they can get out of the National League, and we wish them the best. Here is Les Chabella. Now Ethan Fitzhugh. Les Chabella again. Cover is there, Madi Vidua. Hughes' ball is a good one. Iheanacho finally had something to fight for. Notts County defended that pretty well. And this is a test for Worm Leighton. And he watched it all the way onto his forehead.
That was better. Obviously the overlap by Hughes. Getting down that right-hand side, crosses into the box.
Les Chabella there couldn't keep it in play. I mentioned Notts County now, of course, in the National League. Mid-90s, the last time that Leicester and Notts County played in the same division. Glorious campaign for the Foxes, ended in promotion. And those goals for Steve Walsh at Wembley. Notts County almost made the playoffs that year. To see them now outside of the Football League is strange, really, but it's a tough old division to get out of, as we've already mentioned. Fitzhugh almost won that, and Hughes will. Great press from Leicester. Here's Fitzhugh, brilliant shot, and a fine save from Brooks.
There we go from the press. Hughes pressing on. Loose pass by Notts County, capitalised on. Into Fitzhugh. First time shot, just fading out to the far corner, and it's a big hand. Good save that by the goalkeeper. Just nestling into that bottom corner, and it is a vital hand to tip it round the post.
Corner kick, Leicester's second of this second half. Fitzhugh. It's a good delivery, Notts County clear. Les Chabella back to Fitzhugh. Chabella will line up the shots. And he clears the crossbar.
Yeah, didn't get across it, did he? It sort of went off the side of his boot and was always not threatening the goal. Slightly just rushed it and cut across the ball, and it was always fading high and wide.
A couple of sights of the Notts County goal there in the last few minutes. Hughes again wins it. Feels like there's been a bit of a swing in the momentum Leicester's way. Iheanacho hits the post. He is desperately unlucky. A quality shot from Kelechi Iheanacho's left foot.
How many times have we seen that in a Leicester City shirt? Iheanacho, half a yard. It's a great spot by Hughes, great vision. Half a yard, opens it up, you see his intention, bend it into that far corner, and he's just inches away from making it 2-2. That's Iheanacho in a nutshell.
Well, that's a pretty good snapshot from Fitzhugh, and Leicester have suddenly come alive in this last 5 minutes.
Turning the screw, aren't they? In this last 5 minutes, that's 3 or 4 attempts on goal. Desperately unlucky not to get the equaliser there. But then it's showing Leicester really pushing on, and momentum's now back in their favour. And can they get the goal that they want, even for the young players? We mentioned it before the game. I think Danny Simpson was on about players even want to win now, and for the young players it would be good to get back into the game.
Oh, Iheanacho, he's barely had a look in really in this second half, captaining this young side, and the way he just suddenly...
He has got that in his locker though, hasn't he? That half a yard, drop of a shoulder, little body feint. And he's got the quality to whip it in at whatever corner he chooses.
That's a really good ball if Masvanis can keep it in play. And it just, on this slick surface, it just rolled out.
It was agonising, wasn't it? That was what, a deep pre-season run, and it just slightly trickled out playing. His legs couldn't quite keep it in, but...
Yeah, give that 3 weeks and maybe he does keep that in play.
Yeah, been tough so far, and then that's not a ball you probably get on the end of in a first pre-season game. But in 3 weeks, I'm sure he'll be on the end of that one.
Worm-Leighton, for the first time, steps out. But Notts County will break here. And they're in a very promising position. And here is Milikan Dafa. Austin. 4 minutes left. And Mr. Hughes stuck to his task. And
he's done well, hasn't he, Hughes? He's defended well, and he's got an eye for a pass as well. Quite measured in his approach, and looks a steady player who can play someone in on goal if needed.
One of those who's been very much training with the first team. A number of Leicester's fullbacks have been amongst those who arrived later back, including James Justin, of course, given extended time off after that England debut and the football he played at the end of last season on the international scene. Mady Vidua was strong and aggressive and fair. Looking now for a pass. Fitzhugh is his target. Adam Chickson had read it.
That one was saying, I'm a senior pro and I'm going to tackle you and take you out. Here's the real game.
Speak to so many former players, and that's what it's all about, right? That first team football, senior football, and the difference between that and academy football.
Yeah, it's them slight margins, and you could see it there. It's not a foul or anything, but you could just see the difference. And it's them little points, but it's a great experience for these young players, and they'll pick up on these little bits and pieces they find on the pitch.
Oh, that was very neat. Worm-Leighton was having none of it. It was nice on the eye from Harvey rolling. It comes to nothing, but plenty of confidence.
Yeah, it was like Ronaldinho there. Another blast from the past.
Has the perfect playing surface to try anything they want here at Seagrove. Again, a Appiah. Won that well. Mady Vidua burst forward. Didn't quite get it through to Maswinis. Lashabella. Hill. Now cover. Hughes. Leicester are finishing this game well. Mady Vidua keeps his footing and blasts it wide from a really promising position.
It started with Mady Vidua. He's got that ability to drive past the player, and it starts it up from the initial move, and then he's found himself in a bit of space again. Hughes sliding that pass down the side, just leaning back a bit, created half a yard, a bit fortuitously through the legs, but again, another chance on goal.
I think Notts County on the balance of play deserved to go 2-1 up. Since then, Leicester have carved out 2 or 3 good opportunities to equalise. And the way that these youngsters have responded to going behind will be pleasing, I'm sure, for Brendan Rodgers and the rest of the coaching staff. It's Worm-Leighton. Now cover. Appiah. It's another nice pass from him to Mady Vidua. Back to Fitzhugh. Now cover.
Got to move it quick. Notts County just holding on to what they've got. Everyone back behind the ball. everyone in their defensive third.
They've been patient here. And a good piece of defending there from Baldwin. He was almost facing his own goal as that came in. It could easily have skewed off his boot and gone in. No way through. Apaya has helped Leicester win another corner, though. Ethan Fitzhugh, not long left. Fitzhugh has changed the angle, but should be easy to clear, and is from a Notts County perspective. They won their first pre-season match, and they're on for a second victory in the space of a few days at the moment, but Leicester are pushing for this equaliser. Masuanis, he and Iheanacho weren't quite on the same wavelength, and that is that. So Leicester's first pre-season finishes here. Brendan Rodgers and Luke Williams will both have learnt a lot. It was a really good workout in the sunshine. More than 40 players getting minutes. Kanya Leshabella and Leicester's youngsters in the second half conceded the goal that see Notts County win the game. But the result far from the only thing to worry about at this stage of pre-season. Harvey Barnes got Leicester's goal in the first half, but Notts County are the team who eventually win here in Seagrave. Full-time score, Leicester City 1, Notts County 2. Analysis next.
Because memories never fade, no matter how long. We'll still remember the moments of excitement and the impressions of Thailand. Amazing Thailand, now even more amazing. More!
Match day. It doesn't start when the whistle blows. It starts with the lucky pair and the lucky party. It starts with making room for the real special one. And with choosing who's on for 2 goals today. It starts with picking up your mate and everyone who lives with it. It starts with the usual in the usual coffee house. Oh, and almost ends there. Don't want to leave those behind, eh? It starts with the walking, with the talking, and with that first glance of home. It starts with the next big thing. No, the next big thing. And maybe with a little nap for the tired one. It starts with a quick flick straight to the same player every week. With a quick tap on the way in, with a quick polish of a friend, and with a quick dash for the pies. It starts with finding a seat, with a deep breath of expectation, and with one last check. Here's to the highs, and to grabbing your share. FBS, always by your side.
Lamia is the belief that perfection lies within the details, where the finest ingredients deserve the finest craftsmanship. In every pursuit of perfection, there is passion and perseverance, where attention to detail inspires a masterpiece that's balanced and in harmony. This is the Vermeer philosophy, brewed into every drop of Chang beer. This is the taste of Thai perfection. Chang beer. We brew friendship.
Welcome back to our pre-season coverage of Leicester City's first game of this new season here. It's a behind closed doors training match against Notts County, which has ended in defeat, but we'll talk about that. We'll look back on the goals as well and the chances with Danny Simpson and Matty Fryer. We'll hopefully have some reaction from Brendan Rodgers and one of the players as well. Firstly, Danny, obviously it's ended in defeat here. We spoke before about wanting to start the season on a winning front. It hasn't, but the important thing is minutes in the legs.
Yeah, I think it's obviously the game's finished now. I think there'll be, both sets of teams got 45 minutes each, and I think now it'll be as well making sure that no one picks up any niggles, and that they got through it in flying colours and they're ready to travel to Evian on Monday.
You've joined us in the sun now, Matty. I think you were in the shade of the gantry, weren't you, for pretty much all of the game. How did you find it from up there, and did you enjoy co-commentary with us?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's nicer down here, by the way. But no, it was a good game, competitive for our first pre-season game. Notts County certainly put a shift in. It was good, like you say. Players got minutes under the belt, lots of changes, and there was a bit of quality. Obviously, a more senior team to begin the game with, and then the young players also acquitted themselves well. So it was a good test. No injuries, no one unscathed. Obviously, points to work on, but good minutes under people's belts, and there was lots of energy because it's a pretty warm day today, and both teams gave it a right good go.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of Notts County fans that are joining us, as well as the Leicester fans as well. Quick word on them, Danny. They were impressive today. They
impressed me a lot. For a conference team, I think they play with a lot of confidence. They come to an amazing training ground against Leicester, a top team, and they got on the ball and they passed it and moved it really well. They caused Leicester some problems, and they were good, from set pieces. So no, listen, I'm looking at them. They were a very good team, and it looks like they'll have a good season.
Let's concentrate on that first 45 minutes for now. And Leicester did, as you said, Notts County got the ball down and played. Leicester, we know we're always going to do that. Yeah, listen, we know Brendan wants his teams to play in Leicester, and as I said for the goal, it's Harvey took that well. We see Harvey doing that, most weeks. So he'll be happy to, get a goal for pre-season. But no, I think credit to Notts County for the way they played and the way they came here and gave the Leicester team a good game, and that's what the lads will want. Danny mentioned that goal there from Harvey. Matty, talk us through it. It's a really well taken, typical Harvey Barnes goal.
Typical Harvey Barnes goal. Shows his power and his pace. Great run, drives from deep, and then he's onto it in a flash. That touch takes it away from the defender. He can't get back. If not, he draws the foul. Could have been a penalty, and tucks it away superbly, doesn't he, into the bottom corner, as you would expect. It's a good ball as well by Daka, dropping into that pocket. I think here as well, that out, that run from out to in as a fullback, Harvey needs to be doing more of that, because it just gives a fullback so many problems, and that's why he gets through and gets his chance. When you mention on that as a fullback, that ball across, it's so difficult to defend, because obviously the wide player's got the momentum. Yep. Bursting on speed, and you've got to track the line and across it. It's a fantastic run, isn't it, by Barnes? That's what I was saying. Obviously, use an attacker, so just making that run across the defender rather than just staying out wide, it just causes him all kinds of problems, and he's able to get in, and that's what the goals are scored inside the box. You mentioned that touch, Matty, that took him away from the defender, and then he took one more, didn't he? It gave him the option. He could have gone to the keeper's right or the keeper's left. He could have gone right, left, he could have dinked it, he could have gone round him, he was away, but that touch, that second one in particular, first one takes him away from the defender, and then the second one steadies himself, and then obviously converts the chance really well, but gave himself 3-4 options, which is what you want as a forward or even as attacking wide player.
Obviously, you'll have played a little bit with Harvey, won't you, during your career here, and when he's been in training. When he takes goals well and when he's got confidence, he's a really frightening player, isn't he?
He is. He's training many times. He's very quick. You know, sometimes I have to kick him. But no, listen, you want to see more of him from that, you know, making them runs, causing defenders problems. Yeah, we know he can get the ball out here and, you know, get the ball to feet and, you know, dribble the full-back. But you know, with the players that Leicester have got in midfield, I want to see him making them runs because, you know, the lads will find him, especially Madders, Euro, especially these players will find that through ball and he'll get more chances, he'll get more goals.
Albeit it was only pre-season, Matty, but a goal like that for Harvey Barnes, again, we spoke about him being a little bit of a confidence player. That'll do him the world of good at the very start of this campaign.
It will, even if it's pre-season, you want goals, and that will flow through him. He's got on the right end of it. Also early in the game, he's got that shot away, which has gone just narrowly wide. But as an attacking player, you want to be getting goals, and Harvey's provided that. Last season his numbers were positive, and he want to build on it for this season.
We'll have Brendan Rodgers joining us very shortly. In fact, he's joining us now. I'll tell you what, if he just stands in this middle bit there and you can share your mic. He's saying hello, firstly. Brendan, good to see you. How did you find that today, the first run out, of course, of the campaign?
Yeah, it was a good exercise, I think, in terms of the objectives of the game, which is based around the fitness, and that's the key thing you're looking at. We're playing against a good side who'll do well in the National League. I know look very well, so yes, it was a really good exercise, and just pleased that the players got through and there was no injuries.
Albeit 45 minutes, but in this heat it probably seems a little bit more than that for the players.
Yeah, I think towards the end of the half they will start to feel it that little bit, but yeah, just in terms of the game, the fitness is important. We obviously want to be, and we will get much better with the ball, more fluency, and like I say, especially in hot days, you've got to keep the ball better than we did today.
There are still more players, of course, to return from the group, a lot of the internationals as well. Can you give us any updates on those?
Yeah, there's a number of them will join us next week. It's obviously been very broken this first couple of weeks. There's a lot of the guys have just come in, most of the sort of first team squad over the last 4 or 5 days. Another group of them will join us in Evian, and then Casper will be the last one back in. I've given him some extra time. He's going to the World Cup, so he's going to have a long period of games once he does come back. So he's got that extra a little bit of time, but we're looking forward to Evian.
Gaffer, just for me, just on a tactical question, you know, as a fullback, I noticed today Ricardo and Shane Flynn just in a slightly inside position. Is that something that you're working on and will be working on through pre-season?
Yeah, it's just a rotational part of the game that, again, a different tactical idea to bring to the team. Obviously, we work a lot from the sides of the field, but it's ideally when he's coming in, the midfield players are more advanced position, and it's for us to be more aggressive higher up the pitch, Danny. We were in the top 5 for goals in the league last year, but we want to score more, we want to be more aggressive and be able to play through. So, yeah, it's something that we've looked at in the very early stages.
Well, thank you very much, Brendan. Just a final quick question. Obviously, Evian next week. What are you hoping to get out of the group from that trip?
Well, again, it's a continuation of the fitness. I think that Evian was a very important pre-season trip for us when I first came in here back in 2019. We got a lot of great work done on and off the pitch. And I think this season, I talked about a healthy shake-up of the squad, and a big part of that was based around the reconnection with our culture, and after a really difficult couple of years where the pandemic has left a lot of teams a little bit broken. So this is an opportunity for us to come back together and reconnect again, and like I say, continue with our pre-season work.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Cheers. Appreciate that. Thanks, best of luck for the season.
Cheers.
Yep, thanks there to Brendan Rodgers. Matty, what did you make of what he was saying? Obviously, like he said, it's about getting the fitness back into the legs, the running back into the legs again today.
Exactly that. Like I say, he's got spot on. Whatever needed to be done. Deep down, I think though, as only the negative of it, I know players have got to come back and everything, but again, the same issues as of last year. The set plays weren't dealt with the way they should be, and that will be something deep down. I know it's minutes under the belt, no injuries. That again, it's something Leicester need to address, and they need to address it early doors in pre-season whilst you can, even with different members of a back four, players back, go and attack the ball, go and meet it. And again, it's unfortunately 2 goals from set plays have cost. I know it doesn't mean anything in terms of a pre-season game, but deep down he will be disappointed in that. In terms of the effort and the commitment and the runs, everything was made a positive, but knowing what he's like, he'll be thinking, we've got to address this.
Let's take a look at those goals then, Danny. Obviously, as Matty says, both from set pieces, which is a disappointment.
Yeah, listen, Matty's just basically, I can repeat what you said. It's just, I think you've got to get the first contact. There's too many times. I know this was obviously the first goal, but even in the second half, there was too many times their players were getting first contact. I think Daniel will be quite disappointed there. He's got to be a lot stronger, hasn't he? He's been out at Preston on loan in the Championship. He had a good season. But I think he'll be very disappointed with that, won't we?
Do you think he takes it a little bit low? Not at the highest point?
I just think he's got, and I think he's just got to be more commanding and come through people. You're the keeper. He's a big lad, but he looked a little bit soft there in that instance.
On this occasion, obviously the keeper didn't come. It's fizzed in differently though, this one.
No, listen, that's a great ball, but I don't know. He's free. He's in the 6-yard box. He's on his own. He's free. I don't know whether they kind of keep the line and they're all going to drop together. And again, this comes down to desire, communication. There's not much the keeper can do there. These are young lads as well, though, so they've got a lot to learn.
One thing I will say, obviously, being a former defender yourself, and particularly in that title-winning season, you had the regimented back four, which you knew was going to be the back four. Here, obviously, in either half, that won't be the back four. So does that help a little bit in terms of progressing and going forward?
Look, I think partnerships are key to any successful team, whether that's the back four, midfielders, strikers. It's all about the connection with each other. And you mentioned there that title. There was times where we knew, my mate next to me was gonna bail me out if I made a mistake. But it's been difficult, last season. The amount of injuries, you said, the amount of combinations in the back four, back five that was playing, back three, back four. It was difficult. Whereas hopefully with Brendan, I think if he gets everyone fit and has a pre-season with them and has a settled back four, then there's no reason why he can get that. And I think Johnny Evans, it will be key to that as well. And he missed a lot of games last season. With him being there in the middle, he's a key ingredient to the back four.
Danny can talk about defending all day long. Matty, you can talk about chances, and Leicester had plenty of those, didn't they, particularly in the second half?
They certainly did. They put the pressure on with 10 minutes remaining. There's some good opportunities. Can't quite see that first one. Is it the cross coming in?
Yeah, that was just the block earlier.
Just the build up to it. But no, there was opportunities late into that second period, which is understandable. Obviously, Notts County's legs, hot day and everything. But you got the quality of Leicester's. Brendan mentioned their 5th top scorers last season. I don't think that's an area they need to worry about too much. They've got creative players. They've got quick players. They're threatening behind. Maybe they could use the ball a little bit quicker at times in around the box when they're up against teams. I'm not saying they're going to be up against Notts County every week, but when teams put players behind the ball, they've got to move it a little bit quicker, get them combinations away a little bit more. But like Brendan said, they'll get sharper, and then the ball play will move quicker as pre-season progresses, and they'll be ready for the opening game against Brentford. But yeah, there were some good moments, good for some of the young players, and they were positive at times, getting shots away. And I think it was Iheanacho's chance. He's capable of that, isn't he? He was quiet during the game, but he's got that ability to create half a yard, something out of nothing, and he was desperately unlucky to not see the ball go in the back of the net.
I'm sure we will see that Kelechi Iheanacho chance. It might potentially be the next one, but were you impressed with the players that were alongside Kelechi, particularly some of the younger lads here, just taking chances?
Yeah,
well, not quite taking them, but they want to.
Any minutes in front of Brendan, are valuable. Whether it's 5 minutes or 45 minutes, to get the chance to, play a game in front of him is vital for these young lads. And we've been there before. You've got to try and take your chance. So yeah, listen, it's great for them. I said they're playing with Kelechi up front, and I thought, this lad done well, right back. He done really well. I think he was very positive, wasn't he? Yeah, getting forward, making some great passes. I think as the half went on, I said obviously I'm a full-back, so I'm going to play that. But no, he did really well, and as the game went on, I think he made some. I think this is one of the passes.
The ball to Kelechi.
Lovely little ball. See, that's top class. That and I think this is where the chance come from. Yeah. I think if that's Harvey Barnes overlapping, he probably does slide it. But he's there. He's the main man. He's going to take a shot.
It was a good effort, this, Matty, wasn't it? As you said, he got that yard. Maybe he could have slid it to the player on his left, but someone like Kelechi Iheanacho always will want a goal himself.
Yeah, you're not going to turn that opportunity down. He's got that one where he can bend it like he did there, or what we saw against Tottenham last season, where he can whip it the other way. And as a forward, I don't think you're really looking to slide. Maybe I did have the vision to slide, but I think the opportunity was there to be hit, and it was, like I said, desperately unlucky not to get a goal. And forwards will want goals in pre-season games. They certainly will.
Matty was saying before, obviously the passing maybe wasn't as quick as what you've come to expect with Leicester City, but it is the first game of pre-season. What are we, early July still?
No, listen, we've been in first pre-season games. It's never there. It takes time. The more minutes you get, the fitter you get. That just comes with time. I think Brendan, he said that, and he knows that. He will be drilling it onto them every day. He want it sharp, he want it, zinged in. But he also knows, the lads are finding their feet, and like I said, the legs, getting stronger, and that will come over time.
Evian next week. Did you ever go on the Evian trips? Obviously, you've been on pre-season ones, haven't you? So that is about, double sessions every single day in the heat like this. That's really about getting your fitness in it.
It is. Listen, I went to Evian. It's a great camp. The lads love it. And it's also, obviously the double sessions, but it's also the lads' bonding time. With the staff, the players, it's time to obviously just, everyone's been away. It's great coming back to this, beautiful training ground, but to get away, away from the families, and just focus on football and each other, and I think that's the time where you really bond with each other, and you think about the season upcoming.
And there's a game a week today, Matty, over in Belgium against Leicester's sister club Leuven, of course. So they'll have had that week in Evian building up to that. Yeah, it's vitally important, like Danny said. It's that bonding. It's a bit more relaxed because the games don't count for anything. I know they do because you're preparing for the first game, but it's a bit more relaxed when you're away, spending time with one another, and obviously no imminent signings at the minute. Even an introduction of new players, if obviously a few young players come into it, it's all part of their developing, not just on the pitch, off it, and then you find them little connections and that togetherness, like you say, in that title winning season. You knew what your mate was going to do, and even silly stuff like games around the pool, eating food at the evening or just around one another, you start picking up relationships and sort of backing your mate, and it's a relaxed time even though you put in all the work in. Yeah, just a little secret of used to Love Island nights. You've done your double sessions, you just spend a lot of time, used to get a little group together in a room and watch Love Island every night and everyone, so I'm sure the lads will be doing that again. But that you joke, but that is important, the bonding, isn't it, to get you as a group together? Yeah, because we're training, he's laughing in. Honestly, shaking his head up. I tell you, it's a little secret. Honestly, we'd finish generational thing. Finish the second session, it's like, right, go have lunch. Right, it'd be 10 o'clock over there because it was 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in England. And we just sit there all together and with a little treat and have a little laugh watching Love Island. Well, there's the insight then for what Evian will look like next week for the Leicester City players, of course. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on Pre-Season Live on LCFC TV. We hope you've enjoyed it. Matty Fryatt, Danny Simpson, thank you very much. Danny, best of luck this season, whatever happens with you. And hopefully we get you both on plenty more media duties for us as well, which will be nice. Thank you, though, for watching. Unfortunately, this first pre-season game did end in defeat, but it's all about those minutes in the legs.